Hola, amigos. Hello, boys and ladies. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton, where we are getting ready for the finale. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish it today, because this game goes long, and I was tipped off that it might be 2 more streams, but I'm okay with that. I'm also really hyped because you guys, I got some, good news about the channel. Am I still sad? Yeah. Am I dealing with it the best that I can, you know? Sometimes it's all we can do in life. We passed 2,000 subscribers today. So, I'm very appreciative of that. So, actually, here's what had happened, boys. There was a small bump in one of my recent videos. And granted, I do mean small, but, typically, what is normal for me when I post a live stream is that I've got you guys in the live chat, like Tom Leah, Phoenix of Grandeur, Between Heaven and Hell, John Thomas, Changeling DJ, Jacob Welch, Alik, Farkas, and Curtis Price. It's a pleasure to have you guys here for the live streams. And then after the live stream ends, over about the course of the next day, other people watch it who don't watch me live, but catch it at their own convenience. And so usually there's about, based on my regular viewership, an average of 100 to 200 people that will routinely check in and watch my streams whenever they get the opportunity to. But one of these Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright videos apparently got picked up by a YouTube algorithm of recommending things to people. Not a lot, granted. This isn't something that blew up. But whereas my typical viewership for these videos is, again, somewhere between 100 to 200 views, this one got just shy of 2,000 views, which is obviously atypical for my performance. And at the last stream, there was a guy who popped in saying, hey, I found you through YouTube recommendations. So I'm assuming that it might have been that video. And I have to thank you guys, because you guys are probably the reason that had happened. I am not the most knowledgeable about how YouTube algorithms work, but to my limited understanding, I believe that YouTube uses the recommendation feature based on your guys' data. So those of you that regularly watch my streams, and you regularly like these videos, you comment, you're here, YouTube probably pairs your data of your YouTube watching profile to other people who have similar profiles and uses that to recommend my channel to them. So thank you guys for being here. That actually, I don't know, it put a smile on my face. It's exciting when you see a little bump like that. So even if it was just a little baby bump, I'll take what I can get. Anyways, that means I should probably start the game too. So thank you guys for the congratulations. After I finish this game, maybe I'll try to do something a little fun for 2,000 subs. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out. So for those of you that are new here, my name is George. I have a Discord linked below. You can join it and become part of the friends that we are making along the way. I also have a donation link. You can send money to me if you feel so inclined. But with all those things out of the way, you get a little message that pops up, voice to chat. We're going back to court. We're about to put the Storyteller on the witness stand, and he's going to tell us, I don't know, something about Espella being the Great Witch, or Darklaw not being the Great Witch. It's all getting a little confusing to me. But I think we're about there. So we'll have to figure it out. Shirtless and drinking stream coming soon? Maybe. Maybe as a donation incentive stream. We can coordinate something like that. Maybe we'll discuss in the Discord. Anyways, it's been about 7 minutes. I'm now wasting time rambling. I gotta get into this. Tito TJ, welcome to the chat. What did you miss? Just me gushing my heart out over hitting 2,000 subscribers. A nice classic old school YouTuber thing. Because I know that means very little to influencers these days. But it is wild to me to think about the fact that even at those small numbers, you have to remember, based on my viewership, the number that really matters, there's about 100 to 150 human people that exist that routinely hang out with me and watch these things. Granted, only a fraction of you live, but about 100 to 150 of you tune in at some point. And listen, I am also the silent viewer. When it comes to like live streams and gamers, I watch that content too, but I very rarely watch it live, so I'm like a ghost watcher. I will watch it in the archives afterwards, because it's very, very hard to make people's live stream times. Tom Leah, one last chance to make a theory on how this ends to maybe earn a little extra money from me before we continue. Guys, do you think I'm that money hungry? That being said, I am gonna try. We've gathered essentially that this is Scooby-Doo logic. The magic is being faked. And so, we are inclined to believe that the Great Witch, at this point, is, like, not real. Or, like, if there is somebody who's being scapegoated as the Great Witch, it's not really a witch. It's not somebody who's using magic. It's maybe, like, the arsonist who set the fire. Did Espella Cantabella accidentally light the town on fire? I hope not. I don't really get it. The timing's a little bit weird to me, too, on that. But, the wool's been all pulled over our eyes, alright? It's a game based in science. And with that being said, I will start and I will continue to theorize as we pick up in the trial. It turns out we had a surprise witness on our hands. The victim himself, the Storyteller. Then again, nothing really surprises me these days. The secret behind Labyrinthia, the legendary fire, witches, magic, and finally, Espella. The veil was just about to be lifted off all of these mysteries, once and for all. Okay, everyone, it's time we end this. Let's give Labyrinthia a fresh start. It deserves. And let's solve these mysteries. I don't know who's doing this voiceover. I'm assuming I thought it would have been Phoenix, but maybe not. Alright, boys. Epilogue. Oh, epilogue, the first story. This is totally the finale. I might not be able to finish it in an hour and a half to 2 hours, so... assuming I don't, tomorrow will probably be the finale. Well, I don't quite know what to say. I am truly shocked to see the Storyteller again, alive and well. This was unexpected by me too, as I did not plan to appear before you all again. But here you are, Hunty. Great to see ya. Let's chat. I was convinced that you would all see the last of me at the parade. But this is the trial for your murder. And you are alive. Yeah, see? No one was killed! John Thomas! Oh.
John Thomas donated $20. Just buying you dinner, you King XX.
Oh my god, John Thomas. Shucks. Thank you so much for the $20. You are killing me with the generosity. Dinner tonight was provided by Jim's Steakout. I don't know if you guys have it where you are. I think it might just be local to where I am. But it was a chicken finger sub and it was delightful. No one was killed, so let's call this whole thing off and never have witch trials again. Right? I'm kind of with Team Maya. Nobody died here, so why are we doing this? Whoa, Maya. Take it easy. We're still in court, remember? But what's the point of this? The Storyteller wasn't even killed. She's not wrong. What is the point of this? Espella would never do anything to harm her dad.
Objection.
If only it was as simple as that to end this trial. However, it is not, Miss Faye. But, Professor... Search your memory and you will know the reason. The crime Miss Cantabella is accused of is not just murder. The purpose of the Witches' Court is to sentence the witches for what they are. Isn't that right, Mr. Storyteller? I fully intend to expose the true identity of Espella. And this would not be possible without you, Mr. Storyteller, on the witness stand. Oh god, really letting him have it for the fact that he's getting his daughter into so much trouble. Sorry, playing with my lighting. Ooh, that might be a little bit too bright. That's fine, it'll all work out. And so you assumed the role of an Inquisitor just to lure me here. Be that as it may, the Inquisition still maintains that Espella Cantabella is the Great Witch Espella. I mean, she looks like she's content with that. Oh, maybe not. Dad! Daddy? Papa? Father? Daddy? It's been a long time, Espella. 4 years, in fact. You must have experienced many hardships living among the townsfolk. This daughter of mine never fits in with others, no matter how hard she tries. Oof! Ouch! Hey, I can relate, though. No, it wasn't quite like that. There were people who supported me. Aunt Patty was very kind, and the customers who came to our bakery were nice to me. I'm happy to hear that. I wanted to watch over you ever since you left the town. But in the end, I failed to do so. I had no idea what was happening to you. I am very sorry, Espella. Dad, you don't need to apologize to me for anything. It was something. I'm sorry, I skipped the dialogue. I was trying to hurt you. It was all my fault, not yours. There's no reason for you to blame yourself. Dad, I'm happy we got to talk while I'm dangling above the hellfires. Espella. You were so busy writing everyone's stories that we stopped talking. Before, it was different. You used to have time for me. Oh god, this is gonna hit too close to home for me. Please forgive me. Why did it have to come to this? Mr. Storyteller, it's time to put everything in order now. The townsfolk and your daughter deserve to know the truth. The truth about yourself and the story. Yes, I suppose it's time I told you the truth. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Storyteller. Let us begin. In this trial, I shall be judged. Understood. The witness shall testify. People of Labyrinthia who have gathered in this court, I will now tell you the true story. Many of you will certainly find it hard to believe, and difficult to accept. Nevertheless, I ask you to please lend me your ear and listen with open minds. Espella, my dear daughter, I ask you to do the same too. Okay, Father. Alright. Sir, please don't waste my time with a bunch of bullshit lies. Let's just get the real story. Let's call it a quick and easy day today. What do you say? Give me that lore, Daddy. Although you know me as the Storyteller, I have one more identity. I am the president of Labyrinthia Incorporated. Oh, no. Oh, God, what? The president of Labyrinthia Incorporated? Was this all some big, weird-ass fucking experiment? Don't tell me. Is this like a Squid Game bullshit? This whole town is one of Labyrinth's research facilities. It may be hard for you to comprehend. Wow. Oh, I kind of love it. It's ridiculous. But it's like ridiculously scientific, which chef's kiss is right up my alley. Oh my god. This land is rich in a very special substance which affects everyone who lives here. This substance enables the manipulation of people's minds. That is what Labyrinth is searching. This experiment began 10 years ago. The townsfolk all became test subjects. Ooh, that's very unethical. Yeah, I don't think that would fly in modern day research. I don't understand. What does it all mean? I don't quite understand what I've heard. I do not blame you. I suppose all the townsfolk are just as confused. Labyrinthia is an artificial town, created entirely by me. I have so many questions. How did we get here? How did all these people get here? What were their lives before this? Are they kidnapped? Do they have families? Oh, there's so much I need to unpack. But of course. As artificial as it may be, it is the reality for those that live here. For the past 10 years, I have been bringing the illusion to life by writing the story. I am lost for words. It feels as if the whole world has been turned on its head. Your Honor, it is certainly not an easy matter to grasp this new situation at once. Regardless, I suggest we hear more of what the witness has to say. Yes, I agree. Let's continue. The defense may begin the interrogation. Oh, I have so many questions. Thank you, Your Honor. Let's do this. Daddy, I gotta learn about this corporation you're working for. Also, where are we? Are we in London still? Alright, I'm the president of Labrilum Incorporated. This is too much, I don't even know where to start. Labrilum Inc. It's a name I've heard before. It is a global pharmaceutical company with a headquarters in England. Hey, I worked for a pharmaceutical company. If my memory serves me, alright, it was founded by Arthur Cantabella. Whoa, Layton! Professor! You knew of a guy named Arthur Cantabella who owns a pharmaceutical corporation this entire time and you never once thought to bring it up? Indeed, that is my true name. Were you familiar with that, Mr. Wright? Obviously not. Sure, yeah. I've heard of Labrilum Incorporated, of course. Labrilum Incorporated is known for developing a completely harmless anesthetic about 20 years ago. It is now widely used in hospitals all around the world. The company is also working on various other plant-derived sedatives, revolutionizing medicine. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by your vast knowledge, Mr. Layton.
Objection!
Yeah, I object to all of this. That's irrelevant. That fact is based on the real world. We're not in the real world. We're in Labyrinthia. The real world, Mr. Wright. Then what would you call the world we are in now? Do you believe we are in a fantasy? Wow, he's gaslighting the fuck out of us. Well, no, that's not quite what I meant. Mr. Wright, I do not mean to sound so rude as to presume I know what thoughts are running through your head. However, Labyrinthia is certainly not a place within a book, or in the past. Labyrinthia is part of the world we know. What? But, how could a town like this exist in the real world? Maya, how could you exist in the real world? Do you think it's impossible? Why would that be? You know what I haven't mentioned? You know why I think I'm in such a good mood? There's an uncanny absence of one of the main characters in this whole final segment of the game. Somebody's missing. Somebody who's like supposed to be really important to this story but is just like gone, not here right now. I wonder who it is. They were very forgettable. I guess I gotta move past it. Are you saying that everyone would know about an unusual town like this if it existed? Well, something like that. Anyway, it would be on a map at least. No, I'm afraid that cannot be so. Huh? This town is not marked on any map. It doesn't officially exist. What do you mean? The answer is quite simple. Whole town is one of Labrilum's research facilities. It may be hard for you to comprehend. I'm a scientist, I got this. The whole town is a research facility? Yes. The whole area is a private property of Labrilum Incorporated. So, they own all this land then? That is why Labyrinthia is not marked on any map, and people from the outside cannot enter. We have taken measures to ensure that this town is not noticed by local residents. And, exactly what measures are you talking about? Consider the fact that magic is supposed to exist in this town. Perhaps, special mechanisms that were used to create magic also serve to conceal Labyrinthia. There are limits to what magic the Shades are capable of producing on their own, after all. How much money is all of this costing? That is the case indeed. The magic that exists in this town has been made feasible owing to the latest technology. Technology? Tricks? I cannot believe this. However, there is one question. There is no industry in Labyrinthia. How do you obtain necessary commodities? Very observant, aren't you? All commodities are regularly shipped in by sea. A young man once made his way here on a freighter and took Espella out of the town. Carmine! Was that how you said his name? It's been a minute. That was Carmine Accidenti, a friend of mine. I see. But is something on this scale really possible? I mean, if you're like an Elon Musk and you've just got money to blow. As you might expect, it was beyond the power of Labyrinth Incorporated to keep a facility this size a secret for so long. Labyrinthia is a project co-funded by the British government. Sounds legit. Okay, cool. Just throw in a government conspiracy while we're at it. What? It's a government project? But what would be their stake in this? Mind control. It's Project MK Ultra, but for the British. It's all because of my beliefs. His beliefs? Yeah, what? By the way. Yes, Your Honor. What is a research facility? I've never heard of anything like that before. Ah, yes, that was careless of me. Naturally, you wouldn't know what it means. How should I explain? This whole town is my creation. Oh, that's what it's about. In other words, it's all your story. That makes it clear. Swing and a miss, Your Honor. Swing and a miss. Getting back to the topic. There's an important reason why we have chosen to build a facility here. The special substance. Special substance, huh? What does it actually do? This area has been isolated since ancient times, developing its own unique culture. There are underground ruins on the verge of the town. We've found writings there, presumably left by the natives of this land. A bell that was supposed to be there was missing. Yeah, what's the deal with that, then? Ah, so you have seen the ruins. I suspected you would find them. Then perhaps you have also noticed that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition. A peculiar condition, you say? Well, I can't just sit here quietly like a patient old man when you're saying such things. What kind of condition is it? You have every right to know. This condition makes people fall unconscious upon the sound of a certain metal being struck. The bell. That's how they did it? Metal? What kind of metal? Pure silver. And so there's not a single object made of silver in Labyrinthia. Now that I think of it, I guess that's true. I guess I never really thought of that before. Pure silver making people faint. Unconscious. I don't know if I'm buying this. Just imagine what a disaster a fancy dinner would be if everyone fainted whenever they used silver cutlery. This condition is an integral part of magic. How so? All inhabitants of Eldritch Woods carry small silver bells. Ah, I see now. The Shades ring the bells when they need to create the illusion of magic. Everyone present falls unconscious, and the Shades set to their work. Oh, look at where that Shade's hand was. So that's the secret of the time-stealing magic Darklaw told us about. Now that they mention it... Kira had a small bell with her. Well, we saw her back at the marketplace. Sorry. We have been researching this condition at Labyrinth Incorporated, and finally we discovered its cause. 'Twas the groundwater. Water causes it? The groundwater contains a certain unique substance found in the soil in this area. So, if you drink the water, you get this silver allergy thing. But, of course we've been drinking it. It's impossible to live without water. Of course. That's why everyone who lives here has that condition. Oh dear. You needn't worry, the condition is harmless, especially as silver is unknown to the townsfolk. Something's still not quite right, though. If the sound of silver bells makes people pass out, why don't the shades pass out? I guess they don't drink the groundwater. Although the effect of the substance of the groundwater is powerful, it doesn't last long. The condition will vanish after a day or so without drinking that water. Well, that's convenient. That substance's effects aren't limited to humans. It can also affect plants to a great extent. Plants are affected by it? Wait, how do you mean? Plants don't have a consciousness. Our research was focused on the plants rather than humans. Enables the manipulation of people's minds.
Hold it!
That sounds really scary. Just what is this about? The substance enters the groundwater, affecting the organisms that consume it. People who drink it daily acquire the odd condition. They fall unconscious upon hearing the sound of silver metal. Yes, although the substance in the groundwater also has a tremendous effect on plants. Wildflowers in the area contain a certain poison. Upon my beard! Poison? This poison doesn't harm the body. It has the effect of manipulating the mind. So it brainwashes people. So does that really count as a poison or more of a psychedelic? I've been writing the story for 10 years. The title of the story is Historia Labyrinthia. The ink I used to write it was made from those plants. Oh, Nick! Do you remember how funny the ink smelled when we were looking at the book? That was the gas released when the ink evaporates. And that's where the trick is. Wait, what? Those that inhale the gas become extremely susceptible to suggestion. Oh, you mean like brainwashing? They will believe anything they are told or anything they read, however strange or unrealistic. Have I been getting high off of this ink this whole game? It will be imprinted into their minds as the truth. So that was the true purpose of the parades. Throw out the papers have the ink, people are susceptible, they believe whatever's written in front of them. Ah, God, everybody's just such a lemming. Pages of the story, written in that special ink, were regularly distributed among the townspeople. It was done so that everyone would be in a state of hypnosis. Indeed. The creation of a fully controlled town with the inhabitants subject to long-term hypnosis. That was one of the topics of our research. So then, the story that's written in the Historia Labyrinthia, you could call it a self-fulfilling prophecy realized through the Shade's work and the hypnotic effect of the ink vapors. Is that how it was all this time? Labrylum used hypnosis to control all these people. I can't believe that the government was supporting that. Began 10 years ago, the townsfolk all became test subjects. So then, was the Great Fire even a real thing? Maybe that was all faked. All the people subjected to this experiment have been living here all this time? Did they consent to this? Did you do this with consent? No. We just started with a few people, gradually adding more and more. I must say, I'm afraid of what the answer to this question might be, but where did these people come from? Layton asking the real questions. You haven't resorted to abduction by chance, have you? Of course not. Every test subject signed a contract with Labrylum. A contracts to have their memories erased and be used like pawns in a story. Honestly, probably the most believable part of this whole testimony. Like, low-key, the way we agree and sign those Apple agreements and, like, for literally any technology, if Apple wants to send something to our phone that's like, oh, here's the newest user terms, and if you agree to use this iPhone, actually, we're going to own your kidneys, and at any point in time, we can cut them out of you. Think of how many people would agree to that before one journalist, like, breaks the story and it's like, oh, just so you guys know, you all agreed to this that was in the terms and conditions that you didn't actually read. I feel like some manipulative work was done with this contract signing. The current inhabitants of this town have one thing in common. They were all dissatisfied with their lives and wanted to start anew, forgetting about their mistakes, forsaking unwanted identity. Wow, it really was Squid Game before Squid Game. Instead of competing in a game for millions of dollars, they were just trying to escape their poverty-stricken lives in one way or another. So you took advantage of desperate people. It's questionable from an ethical standpoint. There are more people like that out there than you might think. Yeah, no kidding. They all have agreed to participate in our research. But that's insane. It's not as unreasonable as you suggest. We give them a new identity, a chance to start their life again. In return, they subject themselves to hypnosis and live in this town as our test subjects. In order for this project to be possible, we suppress their memories of the past, including the memory of signing the contract. So ultimately, they are not aware of what is going on. I couldn't agree more. I've got no idea what's going on. Let me make this clear, Mr. Wright. We do not erase their memories, we suppress them. They will regain their memories of life before Labyrinthia once their contract is over. It's been 10 years! How long do their contracts last? You're robbing them of a decade of their lives, and people only live like 75 years on average. So that's like... what do you do with these people? That's insane! So this place was uninhabited before you started this research 10 years ago? Chat has lost their minds. You guys are all confused. And you've managed to keep everyone in a state of hypnosis for 10 years straight? Can you really hypnotize someone for that long? I mean, 10 years is one heck of a long time. It was achieved through the distribution of the story during parades. The ink vapors have a powerful effect, but it wouldn't last 10 years, of course. With each parade, the effect was renewed. That's why the parades took place at regular intervals. That was the true purpose of that event. Does Darklaw know about all this? Being fake? She must, right? Because she said she had the secret. I have been born and raised here. It was a poor, small town with no industry to speak of that had fallen behind the times. Ever since I was a child, I had one friend that was especially close to me. He was a bright boy, curious about the world. His name was Newton Belduke. Sir Newton Belduke? The alchemist? So they were childhood friends. The plot thickens, Nick. He had always been interested in unique natural features of this land. There was really nothing here, but to us this area was an exciting place worth exploring. And one day we made an astonishing discovery on the outskirts of the town. We stumbled upon the entrance to the underground caverns leading to the colossal ruins. Whoa! Look at this, Newton! It looks amazing! And this strange writing? I've never seen anything like it before! Haha! We've found ancient writings in the ruins. Newton managed to decode some of them. I do love me some good ruins. According to our findings, a highly advanced culture had existed in the land where our little town was built. Some great calamity had befallen the natives, and they migrated elsewhere. They believed that the plants and the water in that area were cursed by an entity they called the Great Witch Espella. Oh my god, you didn't even make up this story, you plagiarized it from an ancient civilization. Sounds about white to me. The natives sealed the curse within the ruins and left search for a new home. That is all we managed to decipher. Bezella's curse. It was sealed in the ruins, you say. Would that be the Bell of Ruin? The Bell of Ruin. Oh, that's the bell from the bell tower. I wonder what it's got. I wonder why it's got an ominous name like that. Regrettably, we couldn't get any further information from the writings at the time. Needless to say, Newton and I were very excited by the discovery. I knew it! This place is special! It has some kind of mysterious power! If we can find out what that is, our humble town will become famous! You know what? I'm going to do that. I will unravel the mystery of this place. So is Newton Belduke for real dead by suicide? And so Newton began studying the indigenous plants and substances dissolved in the groundwater. On the other hand, I studied economics and management at a university in London. I dreamed of bringing prosperity to this poor, forgotten town. I wanted to change it for the better with my own hands. Meanwhile, Newton had succeeded at extracting a new anesthetic from the local plants. Was that the anesthetic which led to the foundation of Labrillum? Labrellum. Maybe Labrellum, not Labrillum. Labrellum. Yes, it was a huge success for Labrellum Incorporated. Labrellum Incorporated. Yes, it was a huge success for Labrellum Incorporated. And before we knew it, we were making a fortune. I like the way that sounds better. We wanted the whole world to hear about our hometown. Alas, fate was not kind to us, as we never realized that dream. Everyone in our town had died. All the townspeople perished. What? I'm sorry. Look, I'm processing a lot of information right here. Everyone died? That's a cute little detail to throw in there. Just, what on earth happened to them? That does not matter anymore. We purchased the environs of our town, the mountains, the lake, the plains, everything. Then, 10 years ago... First pronunciation is more English than American. Was that Labrillum versus Labrellum? Labrellum? Labrellum, Labrillum. I don't know, dude. I'm making it up as I go. Having received financial support from the government, we started Project Labyrinthia. It was much smaller in the beginning. It started as no more than a village. Over the course of 10 years, it slowly grew into a town, and the population increased as well. So what I'm getting at here is that you are really someone who could make a city prosper. Have you considered a career in politics? More people signing the contract with Labrillum shows slowly increasing the number of inhabitants, correct? Yes, they would sign the contract, be hypnotized and assigned a role, and then be introduced into the world of the story. I wonder what Frankie and Francesca think of this. I have spoken at length. Thank you for patiently listening to my tale. Just call it the labia. Bezella is the name of a witch from an ancient legend that we had read about in the ruins. It is a fictional character. She does not exist. But then... magic and witches? It's all bullshit, Your Honor. Magic is just an illusion, and there are no witches. Alright! So it was all fake! That doesn't make it much better, though. Why did you write a story where people get killed with magic and witches are thrown into the fire? You could have made it like a peaceful, pleasant world where everyone would be happy. No, that was not possible. Why not? This is a research facility, after all. We're researching ways to completely control human beings. Test subjects need to be exposed to extreme situations, so we decided on a fantasy setting. We wouldn't have gotten funding from the government otherwise. In other words, we're running a business. That's very, very true. If you want to get your grant money from the NIH, or for the NIH, you gotta make things show purpose to the government. The government comes in, daddy government, they're like, all right, we might fund your science, but you have to tell us, why is your science gonna help me? What do I get out of this? But just what instructions do you give the people you hypnotize? You don't give each of them a full set of memories of their whole fictional life, do you? No, it's much more simple than that. We only give them 2 pieces of information. The first one, that they were born in this town, and the second was their new occupation. Then they fill in the gaps themselves, without being aware of it. The human mind requires a consistent story of one's life. Which means, of course, that no labyrinthian has memories from earlier than 10 years ago. No one has any memories from before they came to Labyrinthia. What are you saying? Yeah, my judge is old as hell. He has no memories before being like 70. That's all one big lie. I am who I am. But Frankie, can you remember your childhood? I can't. When did we even start dating? Who's my daddy? What's a Piazza? Babe, that's true. I don't even remember Keel Hall Keel. Oh, man. No way. I can't recall my mom's face. As you can hear, no one can remember their real past. There are no exceptions. Wait a second, no exceptions? I smell a contradiction here, and it's your daughter, I think. Ah. It seems Mr. Wright, too, has noticed it now. What are you talking about, Layton? Mr. Cantabella, you have just testified that not a single citizen of this town remembers anything from more than 10 years ago. Yes, as that is the truth. Now that is a strange assertion, especially coming from you. What do you mean? There's one person in this town who remembers what happened more than 10 years ago. That cannot be. It is impossible. They must be merely imagining things now. Mr. Wright, please enlighten us all. Who is this person that remembers their past? Oh god, it better fucking be Espella. Cause I'm down to my last ounce of credibility. It's the Storyteller himself. I don't think it's Darklaw. And the rest of these people are completely irrelevant. I'm like 98% sure it's Espella Cantabella.
Take that!
The fire. Precisely, Mr. Wright. That person is none other than Espella Cantabella. What? That's impossible.
It's true, Dad. I remember it clearly, as if it happened yesterday. The legendary fire.
No, that's impossible! That's just your imagination, Espella.
No, it's not. I couldn't remember it before, but it all came back to me because I'm Bezella.
No, Espella, there are no witches. That fire was just a bad dream. The Inquisition would like to call Espella Cantabella to testify. What? Regardless of whether Miss Cantabella is Bezella or not. Her memories may contain valuable clues. Yes. That may be so. No, wait! I don't agree to this! This trial is over, Your Honor.
Objection!
Oh, Layton, you got some balls. You seem to be forgetting something, Mr. Cantabella. Your story has ended. You are no longer in control. Oh! Shots fired! Oh! You are merely one of the characters. Oh, it's a double homicide! And this is why we will not cease seeking the truth until we find it. Defense, what is your opinion on this? Espella keeps insisting that she's the witch, Bezella. As her attorney, I should probably refuse to let her speak to the court, because the victim is alive, we've just denounced magic and witches altogether, so I'm in a prime position to get her off the hook, all charges dropped, we can walk away from this, close our eyes, close our ears, no more trouble for us. But something tells me that for the sake of video game plots, I should keep her in that cage dangling above the fires just a little bit longer. The real important thing here is finding the truth, just as Layton said. There's only one way to proceed with this trial, Your Honor. And that's by questioning Miss Cantabella about her memories. In that case, the court summons Espella Cantabella as a witness. Attendants, bring the accused to the witness stand. Okay. Now, witness, testify about your memories of the legendary fire.
Yes, my lord.
Okie doke.
I was just a little girl then. It happened during the annual fire festival. Everyone was gathered in the town square for the fire festival, and I was watching them from the bell tower. The great witch Espella awoke within me and brought calamity upon the town. An enormous fire dragon appeared. You could almost call it a leviathan. I was trembling with fear, terrified by what I had summoned.
Witness, what you have just told us wasn't a bad dream or a fairy tale, but what you actually experienced.
Yes, it was. Like I have already said, I remember it very clearly. The heat from the fire, the smell of the smoke.
Espella, what are you talking about? What does Layton know? The defense may cross-examine the witness. Thank you, Your Honor. I'm working on it. Was there really a huge fire that destroyed the town? And what about Espella? Is she even real? The answers are in Espella's testimony. Something bad happened here. Everybody died, right? Alright, well, I guess we're gonna press everything.
Hold it!
I feel like at this point we should probably take it to a real court of law, rather than the one set up in a fantasy experiment. Yeah, probably. Do you remember what age you were then?
I'm not quite sure. I think I was 6 or 7.
And how old are you now?
I'm 18.
Boys! She's 18. For those of you straight men out there, you're welcome. That means those events did not take place more than 10 years ago. It's very odd that you have memories that old, but perhaps you're mistaken about your age at the time.
Objection!
Your Honor, no one besides Espella has witnessed the legendary fire, which would mean that the incident occurred before Labyrinthia was created, over 10 years ago. Yes. Well, I suppose that makes sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. How many times do I need to tell you there are no witches and no magic? The legendary fire is just a story. This interrogation serves no purpose. I don't know, maybe this is like a dead mom narrative, because Espella has a completely absent mother, but she exists, so the storyteller had a wife at some point. Maybe there was a family fire and mom died in it. Miss Cantabella, the court asks you to be quiet during another witness's testimony, unless you are asked to speak.
Everyone was gathered in the town square for the fire festival.
Hold it!
Oh, but she wasn't a bell tower. That's weird. Could you tell us a little more about this fire festival you were watching?
Yes, it seems to be an ancient custom in the area. The townspeople make a fire offering to the great witch Espella, so that she will not bring misfortunes upon them. A great fire is lit in the middle of the town square. The festival lasts all night long.
And this all happened before the Labyrinthia experiments started? That's weird. That's correct. The festival takes place once a year. It is quite magnificent with all the townsfolk assembled in the square. Unless there's a counterfeit memory imprinted on my minds by you! No, this festival has been held here since before I was born. It appears to be a very old custom indeed. Oh. By the way, why were you in the bell tower in the first place?
Huh?
You know, you said everyone was at the town square. Why weren't you at the town square?
I can't remember. I probably went there because Espella awoke within me.
Despite having vivid memories of the fire, you do not remember much of anything else that occurred at the time.
Yes. I was at the top of the bell tower, looking down at the people in the town square.
With her cat.
Someone was with me there. Ah, that's right. It was Eve.
All right, listen. I don't mean to, like, be a cat hater here. But Eve also appears to be everywhere the Great Witch is. I know we discounted magic. Is it conceivable that Eve is the bad guy? Can we throw all of the blame on the cat and be like, the cat did it? The cat killed the entire town. The cat killed the entire town of people back in the day. Eve, her black cat, huh? I didn't think Eve was that old.
Well, then... the Great Witch Espella awoke within me and brought calamity upon the town.
Can I get a recap asking for a friend? I don't know that there's any way to recap this convoluted plot without having rewatched all the streams, honestly. Do you remember casting a spell?
I cannot remember.
Oh, Daddy. Do you remember something?
Hang on!
Hang on, sir. You look a little upset, Mr. Cantabella. I'm a little upset. I got a schmutz on my screen. Ah! Pardon me. Did you want something? I'd like to know what you were thinking about in terms of Espella's last statement. My opinion about all this has not changed since last time. It's all just a dream. Listen to me, Espella. You are not Espella. There was no legendary fire.
Dad, you have no idea how much I want to believe you, but I just can't. I remember what I saw and how it felt. The heat, the smoke.
Magic doesn't exist. It belongs in fairy tales. There are no fire dragons either. Espella seems certain that she saw a fire dragon at the time. However, as long as we do not have any evidence to support or disprove this claim, we can't make any progress. Do I have any relevant evidence? I don't know. Before we question it, I should probably save. You know, a save of confidence, because I'm doing so good. And I know exactly where this is going. Anything that could demonstrate that the fire dragon Espella saw as a child was real. Well, you see, the thing is, I don't have a lot to work with. Case outline, used magic to kill the creator. We got the robe, mechanism from the middle floor of the bell tower, has a hole, touch for details. Nothing there looks like a dragon. Bell tower plan. And nothing here looks like a dragon. Vigilante's report. Nothing there is gonna work. The footprints is not gonna be helpful. And the pendant also doesn't seem very helpful. I want to say I have evidence, but I really don't think I do. Anything that could demonstrate that the fire dragon Espella saw as a child was real. Like, if she saw something that looked like the fire dragon, I'd be like, oh, maybe. But, like, we don't really have anything that looks like it could be a fire dragon. Honestly. Invisible robe. Bell tower plan. Like, yeah, this is all we have to work with. I got nothing. I don't think there's anything I can use. I can understand your choice to be cautious with your judgment, Mr. Wright. However, I must remind you that the only way to discover the whole truth is to bring up to light the true nature of the dragon witnessed by the accused. I mean, yeah, you have a point, but like, what do I have to work with? Let's arm ourselves to the teeth with the evidence. So something in the evidence is supposed to look like a dragon? Continue your testimony. Yes, my lord. Alright, I'll backpedal, don't you worry. An enormous fight. Well, before I backpedal, let's try and get a little bit more information. Let's press this. Could you tell me more about that fire dragon? Yeah, give me this.
That monstrous image is still so vivid. It looked just like the one that attacked Dad this evening. I've done something terrible again.
Then you are sure that the fire dragon you saw more than 10 years ago and the one summoned this evening were exactly the same?
Yes, they were definitely the same.
Alright, Dad, help me out here. Give me something to work with.
Hang on!
Yeah, hang on. Something wrong, Mr. Cantabella? It's impossible! There is no such thing as magic.
You never believed me, Dad. This is why I have to go off with Eric. I don't know why you have to be like this. There was a time when things were different.
Espella, what are you saying? Look at them. It's like a common argument between a teenager and a parent. Mr. Cantabella created this town. He knows better than anyone else that there's no magic here. Miss Cantabella.
Yes?
Would you mind giving us more details of what you saw? Yeah, that's exactly what I need to work with.
Could I borrow a sheet of parchment and a pencil? I think it'll be better if I draw it.
Yes, give me that evidence, girly. Your request shall be granted. Bring parchment paper and a pencil for the witness immediately. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh. Girl, you're an artist.
This is it. This is the fire dragon that I saw that night.
Alright, Phoenix Wright rules dictate we have to turn it upside down just in case there's something obvious here. So I'm looking at it upside down. It still looks like a dragon to me. But it was my first instinct, because that's a common trope in these things. You know, like the rabbit or duck drawing. You gotta look at it from a slightly different angle and be like, what does this actually look like?
I only caught a glimpse of it, but that glimpse was enough to draw this remarkably detailed picture. It was real.
I must say, it does closely resemble the supposedly magical creature we witnessed this evening. It does indeed. This drawing shall be added to the evidence. This is a farce. What happened over a decade ago? Was the town really destroyed by a fire dragon? Or, you know, a fire accident? Discovering the truth about the dragon shall be our next objective. Witness, continue the testimony.
Yes, my lord.
Okay. So now that we have new evidence, I think we should go back to this statement and be like, I've got evidence. It's the drawing. How it helps us, still not totally sure. Cannot remember, so let me talk to Daddy. Question him. You look upset, Mr. Cantabella. Do you want something? Spell a statement. Yada dee, la da da. They fight. Yep, you have no idea. The smoke. I remember all of this. Do I have any relevant evidence? I have her sketch. So, yes? Your Honor. What is it, defender? The defense will present evidence. Evidence? I suppose you mean evidence that will prove that my daughter's memories of the dragon amount to nothing more than wild imagination. Oh, on the contrary. I'm pretty positive that Espella did see the dragon. What? I thought you had more sense in you. Oh well, aren't we all curious about what the defense has got to show us? Present evidence that proves a dragon appeared in this town over 10 years ago. Uh-oh. Oh, I might have fucked this up. Present evidence that shows the dragon appeared over 10 years ago. I just thought that the Espella thing would help us, because that's the only new evidence we got. And I didn't see where else this was possibly going. I guess look really close at the dragon, maybe? Do we see anything sketch? There's teeth. It has an eye. It has a tail. The eye is kind of like a diamond. I mean, does it look like anything else? Does it look like this? Does it look like the contraption? The contraption has a diamond, but that just made a ladder to go higher in the bell tower. The bell tower could be the dragon. Let me take a hint. Okay. Bell tower plan, not the footprints. Couldn't possibly be the rope, right? Evidence that proves a dragon appeared in this town over 10 years ago. I mean, I guess her drawing, she's like, hey, I saw it.
Take that!
I don't know that a girl saying that she saw a dragon and drew a picture of it counts as proof, but let's see how this goes. It is, of course, Espella's drawing of the dragon. It's impossible to draw a dragon with so much detail unless you've actually seen it. I mean, yeah. Okay. Indeed. And it looks very much like the fire dragon we saw this evening. It cannot be a mere coincidence. You can't possibly use that drawing as evidence, kinda what I thought. And why not? Because she could have just drawn that dragon from this evening.
Dad, why don't you believe me? I saw the dragon when I was little.
This town is my creation. I know everything about it, and I assure you there's no magic. If there's anyone who can tell you that's possible, and what is not, it is me, the creator of Labyrinthia. Your overconfidence has clouded your judgment, and it is preventing you from seeing the truth. What do you mean? In order to see what is really there, you need to reject biased assumptions and keep an open mind. You are overlooking certain facts precisely because you are the creator of this town. It's nothing short of insanity. Magic doesn't exist, and yet, Espella says she saw a fire dragon. It seems like a contradiction, but perhaps it is not. Mr. Wright. Yeah? The solution to this mystery is out there. We just need to find it. Do you suppose you know where it is? Magic doesn't exist. Espella saw a fire dragon. Where is the evidence that bridges the gap between the two? In the court record, in the belfry, it's the town itself. Well, the court record has been very non-helpful to me, so I don't think it's in the court record. In the belfry, or in the town, or it's the town itself. Magic doesn't exist. Espella saw a fire dragon. What is the evidence that bridges the gap between the two? I mean, the common thing between both instances where she saw a dragon is that she was in the bell tower, which is why in the belfry sounds nice. Like maybe she saw something in there that looked like a dragon. Some flame-throwing machine. The town itself, it's like the creator's thingamajig. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get penalized for this because I don't see my shield up, so I think we're safe. I'm gonna go... I'm gonna say... I'm gonna take a hint. And I hope this hint just doesn't get rid of the court record, because that's not gonna be helpful. Of course that's exactly what it's going to do. Alright, I'm gonna go with Belfry. There's only one way to explain this contradiction. Espella somehow saw a dragon, but it wasn't a magical creature. Then will you just tell us what it was? Well, that event took place over 10 years ago. What she saw then should still be in the place where she was at the time. It's still there? I hope so, Your Honor. And that place is the Belfry. It's in the Belfry? Makes sense to me. I guess we should take a look in a book, like reading a rainbow. Oh, we're here. That fast. Over 10 years ago, the witness was standing somewhere around here when she saw a fire dragon. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Layton.
However, what was it that you actually saw then? Let us see if we can find the answer to that question. Why not? Go ahead and try. But I have warned you it's futile. You will find nothing here.
Well, it happened a long time ago. Whatever she saw might not be there anymore.
And if we want to see exactly what she saw at the time, we'll need to set up the whole town on fire. Do you want to get matches, Nick? Oh my god, Maya. I may be an attorney, but even I couldn't clear you for the charges if you actually committed a mass murder, Maya. I will pretend I did not hear that. Shall we begin? I guess. Let us look for the fire dragon. We can see the whole town from here. Look in every direction for something that would resemble Miss Cantabella's drawing. Okay. Oh god. Oh, it's like a shadow game. Oh. Is this it? Maybe? Right here? Like if you light it up. I don't think it's anything... Well, actually, let me use my 3D depth slider. This might help me in this puzzle. Right here in the foreground, looks to me it looks kind of like a wolf, but maybe it looks a little bit like there's a dragon hidden in there. Because nothing in the background looks too dragon-like, right? Are we all in agreement there? I think it's probably this thing right here in the foreground. You know, if it's lit up by fire, if it's lit ablaze, so to speak. Court record. Let's bring up the picture of the dragon if we can.
Take that!
Let's take a look. Espella, what do you think?
I don't know. It doesn't look like the dragon I saw.
Yeah, it didn't really look like it. It seems so unfortunate. Oh, we're not done. I was just testing the waters, actually. Mr. Wright, a gentleman should admit his mistake, rather than try to cover it up with an unconvincing excuse. Oh. Fuck.
Nick, what was it about biased assumptions that the professor said earlier?
They're the things that prevent us from seeing the truth. So let's approach our minds with an open... yeah. Okay, let's try it. Oh, the arrows mean I can move? Oh, well, I didn't know I could move to other sections. So one of these is... Alright, that's not the dragon. That's... closer, but not exactly. I think we can get something better. Ah. Well, one of these things certainly looks a lot more like the dragon. Espella! Can you come have a look at this?
Oh! This is... Hey! That's identical to the one Espella drew!
You dumb bitch. That's my favorite Maya quote from, what was it? Something I watched. It wasn't even from the Ace Attorney game, but a fan-made thing. I'm a dumb bitch. That's what Espella should be saying right now. You looked at the siding of the belfry, a grate, and you were like, that's a dragon? Listen, you made the mistake when you were 6, fine, but you made the same mistake again in the present day? What?
The fire dragon was a creature made of flames. It was so big, it could swallow this whole tower. This is just some tiny fretwork.
I think we can consider this mystery solved. I suggest we all head back to the court. I will explain everything there. Is that all right with you, Mr. Cantabella? Yes, I suppose.
What's gotten into Mr. Cantabella? He looks paler than you do with a cold, Nick.
I have no idea. Let's follow the others back to the room. And don't bring up being sick. Can't think about Dolly at a time like this. The Inquisition's investigation seems to have yielded some unexpected results. But, can someone explain them to me? Your Honor, the Inquisition will interpret the results of its investigation. Witness. You said you were about 6 years old at the time of the incident.
Yes, that's right.
Did you see the moment the dragon appeared above the town?
Huh? No, I don't remember. I remember seeing it at some point. It was like a flash. And the town was ablaze, and this fiery beast was hovering above it.
Then, when you noticed the dragon, the town was already engulfed by flames.
Yes.
That information completes the picture. Miss Cantabella's statements offered me an insight into the true story of the fire dragon. Over 10 years ago, Miss Cantabella was in the belfry, unconscious. What events led to this? Perhaps we will discover that in due course. When she awoke, the whole town was on fire. Having inhaled much smoke, she was still dazed. She was only vaguely aware of her surroundings when she looked up, alarmed by the scorching heat. Unable to stand, she was on her knees, and then she saw something she would remember her whole life. The town on fire. So there was a mass death and a mass fire of the town. Oh, it makes all the sense in the world. Librellum started some secret experiment of Labyrinthia with these townsfolk. They accidentally killed the folks. Something went wrong. They started a fire. Everyone died. Librellum's like, holy fuck. We are gonna be so screwed. We need to cover this up. It was a government conspiracy cover-up. They covered up the past. They're like, no fire here. Nothing happened. Nothing to see. And Espella's about to get her big old daddy in trouble by exposing the fact that there was a fire. They need the legendary fire to be fake. Oh, sad. Librellum, do better. Or Labrellum. She saw a terrifying fire dragon attacking the town. She saw it through the fretwork in the balustrade. The shape of the dragon against a backdrop of the town being swallowed up by flames became imprinted in her memory. That's the truth about the fire dragon. This is what I have deduced.
It wasn't a monster.
Miss Cantabella, the illustration you have drawn for us bears an uncanny resemblance to the fretwork in the belfry. You saw the dragon when you were confused, possibly mildly asphyxiated from the smoke. There was no magic and no magical beast. You believe a stranger, but not your father. That's so typical of teenagers. You should have listened to me. I literally fucking told you this. And now that all the mysteries have been unraveled, can we not end this trial and go home? Yeah, you know what? He kind of was forthcoming with the information. He didn't really hide it. So, like, was this a bit unnecessary? I feel so. I like him as a witness. He's like, you know, pretty motivated to get this done. Oh, Layton. Layton, you know what? You're the one who's kind of dragging this out a little bit more convoluted than it needs to be. As much as we'd all like to, I'm afraid it's a bit too early for that. What else do you want from us? There's just one more problem I'd like to solve tonight. Another problem? What on earth could it be? Miss Cantabella, we've ascertained that you were in the belfry when you saw the dragon. However, that creates a new question. How did you get there?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, honestly, neither have I. Oh! As expected of an ace attorney, Mr. Wright. It seems he has noticed the problem too, at last. In order to access the belfry, you need to use the bell tower mechanism. And the mechanism can only be set in motion with the pendants. Indeed. Miss Cantabella, did you have your pendant with you at the time?
Yes, I think I did. I always had it with me. But why did I have that pendant? I can't remember it at all.
This pendant is not just for show. It's the key to the belfry. Why was she carrying it around? We must also not forget that one pendant does not suffice to operate the contraption. 2 of them are required. Damien, hello, welcome to the chat.
2 pendants?
Miss Cantabella, are you certain that you were alone in the belfry?
No, I wasn't alone. I was there with a friend.
Darklaw. What friend? Oh, and Eve.
Eve! Where did you go off to?
Ridiculous plot point. Have we ever seen Darklaw and Eve in the same place at the same time? Have we? Is she a shapeshifter? That's not logical, right? We just got rid of, like, discounting magic as being a real thing. But she does have, like, the little cat ears, right? It wouldn't be the thing that surprised me most in this world. The friend you mentioned, was it this cat?
Yes, she's my best friend. We've always been together. Without Eve, I would have been so lonely.
That kitty's always appearing out of nowhere to keep Espella company.
Of course she does. After all, Espella is always accompanied by a black cat.
What you saw from the bell tower when you were little was so terrifying that even an adult would have been scarred for life. We literally saw Darklaw and the cat in the same courtroom earlier, lol. Oh, oof. Damn it, I guess there goes that one. The town burned in front of your eyes. You thought you saw a fire dragon. You see, your memories have been twisted by the horrors you saw.
What do you mean?
The dragon you saw wasn't real, and I suspect that the friend who was with you in the bell tower might not have been that cat.
No, it was her. It was Eve. She's my only friend. I'm kind of a loser.
Miss Cantabella, the pendant needed to access the belfry is too large for a cat. Are you following? If Eve was with you, it would have been impossible for you to enter the belfry. Wait, Inquisitor, where is this all going? You have no right to tamper with my daughter's memories. Why do you care? Can we just get this over with? It was Darklaw. It's so obvious. I don't think we need the build. We've had more than enough build up. Like, game, kudos to you. You did your job. You were on point with, like, the machinery and the secret science and the underground government conspiracy. But, like, everybody can see it's Darklaw from a mile away. Do we need the build up right now? Can we just call her out here? Call it a day, be like, hey, we know it's your pendant. Let's case close and move on. You are right, of course. However, neither of you. Nor should you attempt to cover up the truth. Ugh.
No, you're wrong. Eve was my only friend.
Think about that day again, Miss Cantabella. You went to the top of that bell tower with a friend who also had a pendant. Well then, why don't we have the defense present some evidence? Can you prove that someone was with Miss Cantabella in the belfry that day? If so, I'd very much like to see the evidence. What? Why me? It was the professor's idea. I have nothing of the legendary fire. Why ask me for proof? Not one of us remembers that incident. I've had enough of this, Your Honor. You have no grounds to continue this trial. Well, We appear to have reached a dead end. There is nothing else for us to do.
Objection.
Please, hold on, Your Honor. Oh? What is this all of a sudden? Inquisitor Layton! The defense does not have the necessary evidence, but someone else does. What do you mean? This time, the Inquisition will present its evidence. Oh, really? That's nice of you. It's gonna be the picture, right? You son of a witch! This is what you wanted from the very start, isn't it? Why is he so pissed? Why does he care so much? I'm so confused. Well, in that case, the Inquisition shall present evidence that somebody was with Miss Cantabella in the bell tower when she saw the fire dragon. Okay, well, we got the bell. Wow, look at Layton's evidence. The Bell of Ruin, the first story, the picture of the two girls, that's gotta be it, and the suicide note. It's the picture of the two girls, because it's Darklaw. I cannot save. So if, God forbid, for some reason this is wrong, oh, I am fucked. Have a look! This is the proof. This photograph shows Miss Cantabella with a friend. Golly, this is the finest illustration I have ever seen. Oh my god, he thinks it's a drawing. It is a photograph. It looks as if it were a reflection of the real world on paper! This is amazing! Tell me, who created this exquisite work of art? Well, Your Honor, I understand you are fascinated, but let us focus on what this picture shows. This picture was found in the Storyteller's tower. Mr. Cantabella, we have taken the liberty of borrowing it for this trial. It's enough to look away for a second and you already caused trouble. Professor, aren't photographs against the rules? I mean, this is supposed to be like a medieval setting. Who really cares at this point, Maya? What's important now is helping Miss Cantabella to grasp the truth. And in this case, the end justifies the means. Does it? Please, take a close look at the two girls in this picture. Each of them is wearing a pendant. Why, that's so. These are the belfry contraption pendants. We know that one of these girls is Miss Cantabella. But then, who is the other girl? Gee, who is it? Accused, do you have any ideas? Espella? You okay, girl? Can you really not recognize her? It doesn't look like she is... It's me. And the other girl is... She's... I don't know her. Her face is drawn so unfamiliar. There's not a single person in all of Labyrinthia that resembles this girl. Ugh. Espella! Your Honor! Stop this trial! Stop it right now! Can't you see you're driving Espella into insanity?
Objection.
It's just the opposite, Mr. Cantabella. If we turn away from the truth now, Espella will close herself to the world forever. Mr. Wright. Yeah? You know who it is, don't you? I mean, I have a guess. You know the identity of the other girl in this photograph. Look at this photograph. Is that so? If the defense knows that, tell us all who the other girl is. It's the Storyteller, Your Honor. It's Darklaw. Fucking Christ, Jesus. I'm thinking it's High Inquisitor Darklaw. High Inquisitor Darklaw? I cannot say I don't have the slightest suspicions about her, but... Oh my. Miss Cantabella, what do you say? Do you now remember the girl next to you in this picture?
I was with Lady Darklaw.
This is crazy. Why is he, like, so adamant about not it being... This is the only thing that's still confusing to me. Why he's so, like, hell-bent on not figuring this part out. Because he was very forthcoming with literally everything else. What are you basing this preposterous claim on? But, Mr. Cantabella... This girl closely resembles the High Inquisitor. Resembles? That's just your personal opinion. It's meaningless in a court of law.
Objection!
Yeah, objection. Have you ever heard of Facebook facial technology? Facial recognition technology? People's faces are easily recognizable. Oh my god, you guys. I used to work at the... Wait. Aquarium. And people from the public, when they visit the aquarium and they take pictures, sometimes when I worked there, I would end up in the background of their photos of like whatever. And when they would post their photos on Facebook, Facebook would tag me and they'd be like, we think you're in this photograph. And it would be a photo of like this family and me like doing something in the background, like working, walking through, whatever. And it caught like, even just like the side of my face, Facebook still was like, we think this is you in this family photograph. Do you want to be tagged in it? Oh, it's so fucking freaky. Has anything like that ever happened to you guys? If you want evidence, I've got it. What? The definitive proof that the girl in the picture is High Inquisitor Darklaw is the pendant.
Take that!
And this is the proof it was the High Inquisitor. The pendant needed for the contraption in the bell tower. I have Miss Darklaw's testimony right here. She said this pendant was hers. And so, Podcantos, save of confidence. Oh, I'm so confident I don't need a save of confidence. The other girl in this picture is definitely Miss Darklaw.
Is it really?
Hi, Eve. Eve?
Eve, where are you going?
I was expecting you, Miss Darklaw. Why is the cat being so sus? What's the... Is it her cat? Is it Darklaw's cat?
I see that I was not mistaken about you. I trusted in your ability to get this far.
Hi, Inquisitor Darklaw! Where did you appear from?
Does your memory not serve you well, Your Honor? You know what I am. I can disappear at will anytime I wish to. So, Storyteller, everything has worked out just as you had written. Oh, revered creator of Labyrinthia.
Darklaw.
Lady Darklaw?
Now what's about to happen? Miss Darklaw, did you enter the Belfry with Miss Cantabella when you were little?
Yes, I did.
Then you have memories of the events from before 10 years ago?
I certainly do.
Order! Order in the court!
Lady Darklaw, you were with me. Your memories have been suppressed. By that man. But I was with Eve. Eve, huh? Eve, the black cat? Yes, she's always been my dear friend. She was by my side that day, too. What a bizarre coincidence. Darklaw isn't my real name.
Oh my god, are you Eve? I mean, was I like at least a little bit right? Okay, so maybe she wasn't literally the cat, but like also she was kind of the cat? Whoa, what's your real name?
It's Eve.
Wait, what? What?
You are Eve? What?
See, Espella, you weren't friends with a cat. You were friends with a cat girl. One of those girls at school that wears the cat ears and runs up to you and goes, meow.
Espella. My dear friend Eve. It can't be. That flashback, was it real?
Darklaw, why are you doing this? Are you trying to undo everything I have accomplished in the past 10 years?
No, you've already ruined everything yourself.
What is it that you want?
What I want? My aim is to make the truth known, so that everything returns to how it should be.
Miss Darklaw, will you tell us what you remember about what happened back then? More than 10 years ago.
It would be my pleasure. It was the day of the fire festival. Espella and I went up to the bell tower. The wind was strong that day. When the sun had set, the festival began. It's true that the whole town burned down that day. The fire consumed buildings and people, turning them into ashes. We were the only survivors. We stayed in the belfry while the world below us was being eaten up by hungry flames.
Hey!
The legendary fire is no fable. It happened here more than 10 years ago.
Objection!
There are no such things as magic and fire dragons. So how can an entire town be destroyed in just one night? Yes, that is something I'd like to know as well. Even if we assume celebratory fires got out of control, surely the whole town wouldn't have perished like that. Now it all makes sense. Oops. This was the missing piece of this puzzle. How do you mean? I can imagine now what transpired that night. What happened in the belfry, and what caused the legendary fire. We have all the clues we need. Do we? If the Inquisition has evidence to show us, I'd very much like to see it. What caused the legendary fire? Fuck! I'm not able to save! Damn it! What caused the legendary fire? The Bell of Ruin, the giant bell found in the ruins. It's made of pure silver. Oh. Oh no. The giant bell made out of pure silver is not supposed... So the whole belt... I solved it, you guys. The entire bell tower, right? It's hidden away from the townsfolk. It's not supposed to be there. And in fact, when the bell tower appears in the sky by lightning, they must have covered it up through some, like, you know, a giant robe or something, because it's not supposed to be there. Lightning struck, the bell tower appears. Sir Newton Belduke, he freaks out, right? Because he's like, oh no, the bell tower is here. The world is going to end. It's a disaster. So he commits suicide, or allegedly. He writes to the guy, the truth has to come out. This is too dangerous. The bell is made out of pure silver. It can be heard by all the townsfolk. What are the townsfolk doing? They're celebrating with fire because they're, you know, people, and people are morons. They're like, let's light up fires everywhere. Bell tower rings. Oh my god, the girls went into the bell tower. They probably rang the bell because they're like dumb idiot kids. And they're like, let's ring the bell, ding, ding, ding. And then the entire town, including the girls in the bell tower, what do? They clonk the fuck out because they've been drinking the water and they're susceptible to being knocked out by the sound of ringing silver. Everybody passed out. They all just like took a little kerplunk trip, fell asleep, and they fucking died in their sleep because nobody was awake to, like, control the flames of the fire. It just went out of control and burned and burned. Ooh. Ow. Sad. Alright, well, I don't need a save of confidence anymore because I just solved this whole goddamn case. Just call me Velma Dinkley. It was the Bell of Ruin. The cause of the fire is in the belfry. It was the bell. That bell had been made by the natives and later sealed underground. It was called the Bell of Ruin.
The Bell of Ruin?
By the way, why does this bell have such an ominous name? Could it be because it's made of pure silver? Pure silver? Exactly. Mr. Cantabella has told us earlier. that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition. This condition makes people fall unconscious. Right. Upon the sound of pure silver being struck. Dogface. Oh, I thought you were gonna say silver can cause fire because of science. And that's metal is pure silver. Yes, we've been told the condition is brought about by drinking the groundwater. Indeed. That bell was also the reason why the original inhabitants of this area decided to forsake it. It seems that the Bell of Ruin caused a devastating disaster. Tim Wiggins, jinkies! To those who have gained entry into this sanctum, heed our words. You must not ring the Bell of Ruin. Got it. I can't help but wonder what disaster this bell has caused. An enormous bell made of pure silver, and the locals with their peculiar condition, it's not too hard to imagine what happened. It was probably the same calamity as the one that happened over 10 years ago. And that is... well, what disaster happened to this town before Labyrinthia was built? Ah! The legendary fire? Now let us contemplate the following scenario. What would happen if the Bell of Ruin were sound during the fire festival? Oh! Well, everyone who heard it would fall unconscious. As it was an annual festival, all the townspeople were assembled in the town square. Oh dear! Therefore, on the night of the fire festival over 10 years ago, all the residents instantly lost consciousness when the bell was struck. Oh no! Had it been even just slightly windy that day, the fires lit for the Great Witch Bezella would have gone out of control, and they would spread throughout the town with no one left to stop them. Because everyone was unconscious. Exactly. This also includes the 2 girls who were in the belfry. Ladies, girls, sweeties, you guys killed an entire town of people. Involuntarily, but like, your actions had consequences. When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Espella and I.
You were the closest to the source of the sounds, so it was inevitable. When you recovered consciousness, it was already too late. The town had been swallowed by flames, as if a fire dragon had come to burn it. That was a calamity caused by the bell. Calamity? You say here that the cause of the calamity is the Great Witch Bezella. That night, in this very town, Bezella was more than a mythical persona.
Espella.
Oh god, she's hypnotized again. What's the secret behind this?
She's losing it again.
Yeah, what's the deal?
The Bell of Ruin. Bezella!
Yes. To be continued? There's another section? Lord Christ, have mercy on my soul. Oh my god, well, is the next one gonna be the finale? I guess we're gonna save. This is unbelievable. I'm still hanging on by a thread here in court. All right, Layton, you're gonna have to hang the fuck on because we're already at an hour and a half, a little bit after. Well, that was that, you guys. Tomorrow, I think might be the finale stream, but then again, clearly I don't know. So join me tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern time. If we get to finish on time, we can probably look at some of the bonus content in the game too. We'll figure it out. Something will work, and then we'll wrap up Layton. I will move on to something else. I might do something fun for the 2,000 subs. So seriously, thank you guys for being subscribed. It really was an exciting thing to wake up to. So if you guys are here, the support, like I said, it actually is really super helpful. When you guys like these streams, please do leave a like on it. When you guys leave comments on old streams, if you're going back in the archives, that's helpful. If you guys like to check out any of my old content. When you're participating in the live stream, all of that does seem to be super helpful, and so those are really great ways you guys can show some support. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I look forward to hanging out with you guys again tomorrow. Thank you very much, and enjoy your night, you guys. Toodles!